arguing with you. I really am. I really am. Okay, you've already lost 2 sisters. Do you want to lose a third?
Back with another video. Today we're gonna be talking about the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, and I think we're all in agreement that Denise was on something. What? I don't know. Like, comment, subscribe, and let's get into the video.
Yeah, let me check my shit real quick. Hotter than the fire coming out my flaming lips. You wanna play with me? You can't play in me. On the playground, bitch, you can't play with me. Got it, won it, securing the bag.
All right, so basically it's at the end of, Sutton and Kyle clashing and going at it with each other, and everything basically blows over and they dead the conversation, right? Because Sutton's like, okay, well, you're saying this, so I'm just gonna trust what you're saying, boo boo boo. So as everybody calms down, Denise, they ask her, oh my God, Denise, you're back into the group, you're back into the fold. How do you feel? Whoop, whoop, whoop.
I came to do sorry guys, I have such a bad cold. Well, I'm high, but I don't know where she is.
So then Denise is like, I feel great, but Erika, you did something to me. And there's something that you did, that you came for me. And I didn't like how you came for me. So I would say probably for about 45 minutes, would seem like everybody's trying to, get her to point out a moment of what she did. So she's just like, Erika, you have did this to me, and it hurts me, and I just didn't like the way you treated me last time. So Erika was like, okay, what particular thing have I done to you? Like, I would like to know, so I can, properly apologize. So Denise is like,
you know what you did. You know what you did.
She's on another level. Denise is slurring her words a little bit. Maybe Denise had a drink before she came because she was nervous.
And everybody's like, I don't think she do. Like, is there like, a moment? She's like, you know what you did. You know what you did. Like, the way that you treated me, and mind you, she starts the monologue back over from the beginning. So she's still trying to get her like, okay, so what did she do? You know what you did. And I'm just like, girl. It leans into the idea that, did they give this girl, everybody else got 5 drops, 2 drops, and 1 drop. Did they give her 50?
Watch the show. Oh. Watch the show. That's your example. Watch the show.
Because Denise was gone. Doing what? I don't know. I'm not putting nothing out there. I don't know what she was doing. I don't know if she had too much to drink. I don't know. And then, they skip over that. And when everybody gets up and, Denise pulls Kyle out in the room. Garcelle and Sutton was up too. So when she pulls Kyle out, she's just like, what the fuck is going on? She's such a fucking bitch. Like, fuck her. She's horrible.
Yeah, what's happening?
Yeah, felt like a deer in headlights. I don't think she really understood.
She did.
Okay.
She's a dumb.
Oh, damn. Oh.
And my whole thing is like, you're saying this, that, and the third about Erika. Mind you, Erika was stoic. She was just, the whole time, kept her composure. And I'm like, Erika wins this, hands down. Because, like, I don't want to say Denise looked crazy, but, like, it was just a weird interaction. And to me, it would be more so frustrating. Like Erika said, like, to be honest, like, I can own my part of being rude. I was rude back in, 2 years ago, where there's a lot of stuff going on in my life. However, I don't know what the fuck she got going on. I don't even know why I'm apologizing for it. That's what she told Crystal. So, and it's funny, I've noticed with Garcelle, every time Denise brings up something, or she's like, I want to say something, Garcelle's like, oh, okay, wow. It's like, but while everybody was congregating in, like, it looks like Kyle's like bar area, Dorit was like, oh my God, sweetie, Denise. She said, is this upside down?
You sure? Backwards? Upside down? No.
She's like,
what's upside down? What are you trying to do? What are you trying to do here? What are you trying to do?
She's like, no. It's like inside out, upside down. She's like, no, I don't give a fuck. I don't care. Stop it. I know what you're doing. You know what you're doing. Mind you, her coat was upside the fuck down. And then she's thinking that she's trying to embarrass her, which is what, Denise probably is aware that, she probably is a little slurred, a little slosh, she's a little, out of normal. So when Dorit was trying to help her, she was already on a defense mode. So it was just funny. I'm just like, this girl is, I hate to say it, sad to say, baby was off her fucking rocker. Crazy. Doing them weird looks, and then they walk to the foyer, she looking like,
Well, what? This too.
I was like, girl, what did they put in the motherfucking soup? She's leaning. Literally. Right? But, Dorit brings up to Kyle. She said, oh my God, when you weren't here, Kyle, she said, Kyle. You know how Dorit do.
Kyle, so when you weren't here, Sutton basically told us, she was like, yeah, we were like, where's Kyle? She was like, in denial somewhere.
Kyle. Sutton, did you say I was in denial somewhere? And Sutton was like, I mean, yeah, like we don't know about what, like we don't know. So they start going back and forth about that whole situation. And then Kyle keeps telling her, there's something you want to say, go ahead and say it, this, that, and the third. And mind you, like I told you last episode, Sutton fumbled the ball because you're constantly trying to deflect. And in my head, I feel like Sutton was gaslighting Kyle because she's saying, and mind you, she gets in her confessionals and she tells us what it is. She in her confessional, she says, I feel like Kyle is trying to hide the fact that there's problems in her marriage. But in person, in front of them, she's like, well, I feel like you're trying to, hide about certain things in your personal life at home. But she's not saying the particular what, but in her confessionals, she can tell you what she's talking about. And then it's just like, and like I said, I do feel like Kyle is over here deflecting, hiding, doing certain things. But if she wants to work out and she wants to stop drinking, I don't see how that's anybody else's problem. Y'all questioned it once, cool. Y'all brought it up. Like with Garcelle, she brought it up. It was what it was. Over and done. But now the fact that we want to keep going on with the narrative and keep poking and poking and poking. So when Kyle came back at Sutton, when they went back into that other room, and when Kyle came back and said, I mean, Sutton, there's certain things that I think about you, but I'm just not out here saying these certain things. So when Kyle was like, I mean, Sutton, you have one too many drinks, and you're over here doing that with your foot medicine. And then Sutton's like, so you're gonna say it? And she's like, oh yeah. And now you're gonna say I don't eat too? She's like, you don't. She's like, you don't eat. You don't. She said, you push your foot around. She said, I have an esophagus problem. I can't chew my food. After like 4 seasons of seeing Sutton, I have never seen her not eat food. I mean, we haven't really seen no eat food. But I haven't seen like Sutton like struggle with esophagus issue, or this is the first time we hearing about it. I'm just like, well, damn, girl, what is it, neuropathy? So she's like, Kyle, that is so horrible that you will talk about my condition. You knew that I cannot eat food like that. She's like, yeah, you already ruined 2 relationships with your sister. You don't want to make it a 3rd. That was a low blow.
I really am. I really am. Okay, you've already lost 2 sisters. Do you want to lose a 3rd? Oh, don't do that. Go yourself.
Don't bring up my sisters. Don't bring up my family. Don't bring up none of that shit. Because now you really trying to go there, right? So Kyle, rightfully so, got upset. And like I said, I feel like Sutton's trying to poke because when Sutton says all these horrible things, then she's the victim. She's like, oh, I can't believe you said that to me. Okay, but you ain't out the clear either, ma'am. You ain't out the forest. You over here throwing bazookas at her too, right? So basically Kyle was like, okay, you want to talk about my sisters, but you know the truth about the whole situation with Kathy. You know how Kathy treated me and how she treated you. So Sutton was like, you know what? You're right. She was like, Kathy basically reprimanded me for not having her back in the press.
Oh, Kathy did. Kiss ass in public, but then you want to play that game with me? I'm not kissing. Speak up and say it. This is about Kathy. You just made it about that.
Basically, Sutton was like, with the Lisa Rinna and Kathy situation, she was in the middle. She was like, I feel like there's, fault on both sides. She basically said that Kathy called her and wore her ass low, right? So, and that's when Kyle was just like, yeah, but during the reunion, you sat there on mute and didn't say nothing. To be honest, Kyle, I have to play fair. If I was Sutton, I'm not about to jump into nobody's family business. I don't give a damn if y'all having beef or not. They ain't got shit to do with me. I'm sitting there in my $1 million dress, in my jewels, with my watch on, just, it's good TV. Like, I'm minding my business. It's not Sutton's business to jump into. She don't need to save you. That's your sister. You should be able to stand up to your own family, Kyle. You let them punk you, and that's your problem. Because Kyle has to get to a place, and she's like, damn, they're 50. So it's like, you did get to a place where it's like, you can live your life authentically by yourself and don't need your sisters. It's happy that they're back into your life, but you're gonna have to get to a place that you have to find peace without them in your life. Honestly, right? So I want to touch on Annemarie real quick. You know, Kyle and Annemarie, mind you, I'm going to be jumping around real quick. I got lots of them in my head. So Kyle brings Annemarie to her house, and they're talking about, you know, everything that happened prior at the dinner. And like Annemarie and her are touching on like, so you can't work out, you can't do this, can't do that. And it makes no sense because, you know, they're trying to allude to the fact of, you know, your husband cheating on you, their marriage problems. But there is, obviously, because, you know, they're separated now. My whole thing is this. We intro Annemarie, you know, she comes on the scene. She is official housewife now. She's beautiful. She has a family, her husband. There's a lot of stuff going on with her husband where people were online basically saying that she was going to get demoted because of what her husband did. Quote unquote. It's all alleged. So my whole thing is, I don't want to jump to criticism of this woman that I do not know just because of an accusation. Now, if it comes out to be true, to be honest, it doesn't reflect her because it happened when he was, you know, back in the day. So that's something her husband's gonna have to deal with. But I mean, it's going to be something that she's going to have to deal with within her personal life too, because she's married to the man that allegedly did something. And if it's true, then I mean, she has to deal with that, you know, if she's going to stay with her, is she not? Right. But as a housewife, I feel like, you know, she could be a great, you know, addition. She speaks up. She's a beautiful woman. It seemed like her and Sutton about to get into it, because Annemarie, just like how they did every other woman, your first season, it's going to go light. That second season, they're going to tear your ass up. So, I mean, if I was the other women, I would beg to get Annemarie. I'm like, girl, get the fire off of me. Let's talk about her. Right? So, Crystal, Sutton, Denise and Garcelle all meet up out for drinks, and you know, they're talking about, you know, first of all, they talk about the whole neuropathy, and Garcelle's like, girl, you know, I heard about the whole neuropathy. I heard they chop your legs off. So Sutton's just like, huh? And Crystal's like, girl, this is not even the time or the place. But they get into the whole Sutton situation with Kyle, but that's not what I want to talk about. I want to talk about Denise. Denise finally say what it was that she wanted to say. I feel like her mind is clear. She can talk about it. So basically, she wanted Erika to basically apologize for talking about, you know, the sex and threesomes and all that in front of her kids, and how that, you know, was inappropriate, which was true. It was inappropriate, and she said she wanted her to apologize about that. My whole thing is this: two things can be right at the same time. I do think that Erika should apologize for the words that she said during that dinner party when the kids were there. But I do feel like you have kids and adults in mixed company, things are going to get said. And it's one of those things where even your kids weren't that upset. They're like, girl, I know these things. So it's like, it's not like, oh my gosh, such a shocker. And first of all, look at Denise and look at her husband. I'd watch. PK and Dorit, they're over here having a conversation. And the moral of the story is Dorit, I said Denise or Dorit, child. Dorit feels like PK is still being insensitive of her feelings about the whole robbery last year, and how he's talking about, you know, you saying that you don't want our kids to move away, you want them to stay with you forever, this and third. And I feel like it gives her some type of control, and it makes sense. She was like, you know, with the whole robbery, when you basically see someone put a gun to your head, allegedly, and, you know, basically, you know, have your kids, you know, she was like, you know, it could have went worse, where, you know, I could have lost my life, or my kids could have lost their life, something could have happened, right? So it was one of those things where she's still on edge about it. However, I said this once, I said it again. I felt the reason why PK is over the whole conversation, and this is just my opinions, it's not factual, it's all alleged, it's, you know, I just feel like something was plotted and planned. And the fact that PK is kind of over it is because they did what they needed to do. It created a storyline. It moved forward. It was done. What else are we talking about? And I think that's why he's over it. I feel like, and I might be wrong, and if I'm wrong, I can take that, right? Cool. I hope I'm wrong. But I feel like Dorit is playing in our face about this whole situation, and she's gassing it up because I watched a review, but Rodney the Voice said something in his video that I was like, that makes so much fucking sense. Is the fact that when her husband was out the country and when he finally came back into the country, instead of going home checking on his kids, he went over to Kyle's house to film a scene with Dorit. And for me, if Dorit felt so like unsafe, why would she leave her kids at the house with the nanny or whoever? Those are certain things that I'm just like, it makes you question. So I don't know for a fact or whatever, at the end of the day, like it could really happen. That's just what it is. You know, I pray for her, you know, recovery and her having a peace of mind, really. But there's a lot of things that go on that does not make sense to me. Just like how PK's finances don't make sense to me. What do he do? Give me 10 words. Explain it, right? What the girl said, BravoCon. So at the end of the episode, we see Kim Richards. She's finally back on the scene. Baby, that's one woman that could clear a table. Okay. During the pandemic, she was in the house. And she was like, I'm into coloring. They're like, oh. She's like, yeah, I've been coloring on the walls. I'm like, girl. I'm happy to see, you know, Denise back into the fold. I'm happy to see Kyle back into the fold. Kim back into the fold. But y'all, let me know what you guys think. This was a short video. I had to get this out because literally I was in the bed recuperating. For real. But y'all, like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.
Brian Keith, LG, Black View. Bet you didn't know we the Holy Trinity. Now let a God stop a jolly break your head here. Step into the room and get up in the bed. It tastes sweet, that's cause I'm good. It tastes sour cause I'm better than the hood. Cause I get you hyper when I'm running all around cause I excite you. Let me talk real quick. You can't even get with the shit. You wanna go toe to toe with my flow? This Sour Candy all I really asking for. Now I got to go.